He who does not give thought to self is able to achieve his private ends. That was in the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. And I was thinking, isn't it interesting how the more we try to attach goals to our lives, the less we are able to really enjoy the life that we have. For example, if I wanted to go be a software engineer and design video games, I probably wouldn't really enjoy video games as much. I wouldn't be able to just load into a game and explore a new world in a relaxed way because I would be looking at it from a software design perspective. If I was focused on being a neurosurgeon, for example, I might be able to diagnose and treat all sorts of complex things related to the human brain, but I would look at it from a technical perspective instead of a more spiritual one. You know, even if I said that something was heartfelt, if I was looking at that from some sort of a scientific perspective, I would say, well, the heart does not really feel. The heart is, you know, just an organ in the body. So it just doesn't make sense anymore to say it feels like something is sentimental and you know, it has a special place in my heart. That doesn't really make much sense when you're looking at it from a nuts and bolts technical kind of perspective. There's so many things in life like that. The more you let go, the more you're able to potentially enjoy the experience of living. But as long as you are a doer, a chaser, a person who's trying to find a way to accomplish something, well, you're not going to really be able to enjoy the things that you're trying to pursue. It's sort of like Moses going up on Mount Nebo after he tried to lead the children of Israel to the promised land. Despite all of his journeying and all of his leading and all of the things that he did to get the people there in that story, he wasn't able to go in himself because the price for leading others was that he wasn't able to go in. And that's kind of how life is many times. I've thought about how, as I tend to be more mindful, a little bit more, I guess, calm and at peace with things in my life, I gravitate more toward gaming experiences that are very casual, very open-ended. The kind of things where it's just an experience. You log into the game and you do something for a little while and you just enjoy the ambience, you enjoy the presence of being there. But it's not about saying I want to accomplish this specific thing and that's the goal. And increasingly I don't like gear treadmills and all of those sorts of things that make you feel like you need to accomplish something other than what you already have accomplished. Those feelings that you're maybe not there yet and you need to keep on grinding so that one day eventually you can get there, finish, reach the end game, etc. And then I look at life and I realize that's how I approach life too. You know, I want to be able to go enjoy a walk in the park, but I don't want to go to the park with the expectation I have to 100% the map and get through all the content or something like that. I just want to enjoy the experience of being there, whether I'm there for a few minutes or a few hours. whether I'm alone or if I'm with company, to just be really open-ended about the experiences of life, and to say, I'm going to go to work so that I can, do my job as well as I can, and I don't have any goal other than that. And there isn't any career progression objective. There isn't any, I'm going to try to do this so that I can eventually get to a different place. That doesn't mean that you don't wind up going different places in your life. That's certainly the case, that we do achieve progress in life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to be content with the station where you are is an important thing, because if you aren't content, then you live your life always focused on trying to reach something instead of just enjoying the place where you are. And being content with the life that you have does mean inevitably that you have to give up a lot of experiences, because some experiences are just designed to make you unsatisfied. They're designed to make you think that you need to do something more and keep on returning to grind further. Letting go of those things, to me, is helpful. And I also think that when you let go of the objectives and you just focus on having a good experience, then oftentimes the end result is you do, in fact, like that verse in the Tao Te Ching I was talking about, you do achieve your personal ends by not really thinking about yourself. When you stop saying, I need to reach this objective, I need to do that thing, and you just focus on having a good experience, then you probably you do make your way through a lot of content. You do accomplish things that add value into other people's lives, and you do change your own life along the way. And there are going to be the restless souls out there, the people who are always chasing something, that are always trying to be masters of something, and they can't help it. That's what they're meant to be. They're meant to be eternally restless, and they do serve a purpose in the world. But there's also the purpose of peace. And I think for every person that is out to make a name for themselves and to try to be a min-maxer in life, there's also the people who are meant to be more of the philosophers and the Stoics and the spiritual leaders, if you will, the people who focus not on being masters of the world, but on just enjoying the life that they have and enjoying the company of others, and just relishing the beauty of the world. And if that's you, then just let the people who want to be champions try to be champions, because there will always be those people. And yet, what do those people look for when they have nowhere else to turn? They usually look to the people who aren't materialistic, who aren't on a treadmill, the people who just enjoy the journey of life. So you don't really have to be all things. You really, I guess, ought to just do the things that you feel you must do. And if you're a person who doesn't feel like you must do something complicated or pursue an objective in your life, there's nothing wrong with just enjoying the life that you have and being at peace. Being at peace is itself a valid end. And in a world filled with people who probably aren't at peace, it can be a helpful thing for you to be a source of calm in everyone else's storm, even if it seems like it doesn't really do much. If you've ever been in a situation where maybe you felt alarmed, or you needed someone to talk to, you wouldn't reach out to the person who's a high achiever or the person with a big ego or any of that. You'd reach out to the person who's calm, the person who's kind and supportive and understanding, the one who has time to listen without necessarily needing to respond. So, whether you are a person who leads or a person who just follows a path of peace for its own sake, there is no right or wrong way to live life or to experience its many opportunities. We just don't necessarily need to add stress to our life if that's not something that we want. And I think for a lot of people, life would be better off if we just embraced more peace and less noise and didn't worry so much about trying to do things that make you feel like you need to get ahead by winning. In any case, whatever you do, wherever you find yourself, as always, good luck on your adventure. Until next time, thanks so much for watching.